One example from the industrial side is the Rolls-Royce Deutschland, and they call it virtual reality, but it's basically a virtual reality cave. What they're using is 3D glasses and trackers, and that's how it's done since more than 25 years in caves, but basically now they're saying they only have that since 2010, and Rolls-Royce Deutschland in this part it's not about cars, it's about turbines of small airplanes. And smallest like for 100 passengers. So it's the Bombardiers and Canadiers of this world who are their customers. And they are basically showing them and illustrating, so to say, the 3D models of a turbine. Because a turbine and a jet engine is one of the most complex buildings, so to say, most complex systems that engineers ever built. So when they explain that to us, it's basically show this the customer, show it the designer, how complex it is, and show it also to the colleagues who are doing the assembling. So also in their assembling and manufacturing fabric, they show this to the team and tell them, okay, this is how you will do it. This is the training. So basically, they can use already the room as a training. And then later on go to the real assembling, and this might be faster then. So this is one industrial application. Another one is from the market research side. Here I have an example from Ipsos, is one of our partners. I'm running the Innovation Center for Immersive Imaging Technologies at Fraunhofer, and there is one of our partners, Ipsos. Just to make that a bit shorter, basically what we have here, virtual car clinic. A car clinic is something they use in market research. For instance, to bring a prototype to a specific market. How do you do that? Prototypes are extremely expensive, car prototypes especially. So when you want to figure out if this car would be a bestseller in a specific market, you either bring the car to the market or you bring the market to the car, which means I want to bring a new Volkswagen out in China, then I have to bring the car there and figure out with for instance 100 people, how do you like the car? They do their qualifying questionnaires and basically ask them all the details about the car. When you bring the car to China, that is extremely expensive. If you want to bring the Chinese people to the car, then you have to fly them in, and not Holzklasse and not economy class. So it's basically extremely expensive for those brands. What they did now with Ipsos, they basically said, how about we virtualize that, especially the first part, where we could maybe save money. And so they did this in Hamburg and had here the VR cabin and the real cars. So one side they had a wall in between this big hall, and on one side was all the VR cabins, and the other side it was the real cars. And then they had the 100 people and filling out the questionnaires with them, and basically said, okay, 50 people start here and 50 people start on the other side. And funny enough, the results were extremely similar. And a lot of people said it was kind of real. They used photogrammetry, and basically, for a first impression, they all said that is a good way to show that. And just to make that a bit shorter, to sum that up, it was still, when it comes to details, obviously there was no haptic involved and there is no smell, and you just sit on a normal chair when they put you in the interior of the car. But for the first impression, like how the wheels are looking and what kind of colors and like the interior itself, when you look around, it was a really good experience, and it gave them enough good results to say, okay, for our early stage market research, we can replace the car clinic with a virtual car clinic. And they said, we can actually say we can save up to 2 million euros. Because bringing the car somewhere, you have to be really careful that nobody sees that. Another experience, and that's what I already said earlier, another working field, totally different to industrial applications. Body ownership illusions. Mel Schröter is working, hang on, it's a bit loud. more than a decade on that. Just because virtual reality is much more affordable now, a lot of people talk about it, but in neuroscience it has been around for much longer. Here's an example for the body ownership illusion. When you are on a virtual reality experience and you are a drummer. There is another participant with you, he's drumming and you can see him virtually here. And then there is a virtual mirror. Basically, what they did is saying, okay, you have two different body types. One time you are a white male with a tie on and you look much more like a banker. And then they ask you to use the drums, and basically you really play the drums. Here you see that there are the white hands. So then you see yourself in this mirror, you are this kind of stiff-looking guy. In the second experience, you are actually, sorry for this cutoff, you are a dark-skinned, more leisure-looking guy. What they figured is that the drumming changes, your rhythm changes when you are this more casual, dark-skinned guy. Another outcome is that, or could be, that those bias we have against different colors could reduce, because you had the experience of being in a body of someone else with another skin color. The second example I want to bring from Mel Schröter is the B. Einstein. What they did here, also it's about embodiment. The virtual reality, the virtual part of you is, you look like Einstein. You look like an older guy who looks like Einstein. And they did this, so first in those experiences, they always make sure that you get used to the embodiment and that you get used to, this is my virtual side. And then they do those different tasks where you do this here. This is the Tower of London task that is very well known. Basically, you did the task, then you go into the body experience, you have this body suit, and obviously then you wear the virtual reality glasses. And then you do different tasks in the virtual world, but you look like Einstein. To make this a bit shorter, because you can watch it on YouTube. What happened is maybe the bias to older people is reducing, but also, funny enough, a lot of recipients gained self-esteem. They much more thought like, okay, I can do this. Like when you think you are someone who's much more clever, maybe this is changing your results. I want to have the last part of my presentation more about this. I call it social innovation. There are a lot of discussions about what is a social innovation. But maybe I think virtual reality or X reality, mixed reality, whatever, can be a social innovation, because when it brings us somewhere where we can't be in the normal world, or makes us someone who we never are and puts us in someone else's shoes, then it could be really helpful. Here in this experience, this is from Emblematic called Greenland Melting. Who has seen that? Hey, that's cool. A lot of people. Basically, they use all the technologies we heard this morning, 360 video, photogrammetry, videogrammetry, 3D sound even, and they put you with one of the scientists on Greenland, and basically you see, they explain to you, the scientist with you on the boat explains to you why is that happening, why is the melting done so fast, and how is this all connected. And for me, having this experience, it was really like, oh my goodness, we have to do something. And I'm not the only one. My boss was there, so a lot of people, they showed it at South by Southwest, and a lot of people afterwards wanted to do something about the environment, wanted to help. So that just shows how virtual reality can help to raise empathy and to raise like this awareness, which other like just normal documentaries maybe never did. Another experience that I did when in the early stage of the project. So here at the exhibition you see Home After War. This is, I think, Felix and Gayatri will have a presentation later on about that. Putting, again, virtual reality, putting yourself into someone else's shoes is very well done in this part. Like when you go, like a lot of people can't understand, or in the news kind of don't want to understand, why is it so bad to go back to a place where there was war, excuse me. Raising empathy for those people who have been suffered from that and going back to their home is actually, I think, a really powerful tool here. Virtual reality is a powerful tool here. So a bit to sum that up, virtual reality or mixed whatever reality, I think it can help us to connect. It can raise a lot of awareness. When we talk about technology and seeing those kids using their smartphones and don't do anything else and don't go out of this of their virtual digital worlds, well, maybe it's not all bad, but I think technology, I'm just here with Alicia Knappel's technology must be in service of us and not the other way around. I just want to give you some food for thought with this comment from her. And basically now I show you what those kids did, because actually they all played Pokemon Go. And then that could actually end like this. Thought it's a really interesting finding that just Google that. Well, it has some, I want to say virtual reality, X-reality, whatever X-reality, say it that way. I don't think that we can replace the real meetings because this year is really important for all of us, and as Brigitte said yesterday, it's an intellectual orgasm to be here. I think it's technology can help a lot, but we are all here to basically share our knowledge and all our thoughts. And I just want to give you a glimpse of tomorrow because someone earlier in the audience gave me this idea. This is just an example of what I'm about. I think we should talk also about the analog placemaking and the potential for immersive experiences also when we raise kids, because an immersive experience can also be a 4 days workshop on a farm in 1,500 meters in Austria, up high there, to find water source. And there's one lady there in red, this is me. So I think this was really immersive for me, to find water and to build ponds. And I love technology, but I think we all have to have a balance, and I'm happy that we talk tomorrow and the day after also about post-capitalism and anything that connects us. Thank you.